Everybody, welcome to my channel. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready for spring. So today we're bringing you some really cute bee projects for our tiered trays. So let's jump in. Now today I'm participating in my very first challenge. It's being hosted by Crafted by Corie. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, you need to. Her channel is amazing. Lots of really great ideas. Now in the description box below, you'll see a playlist. It will link all of the videos of everybody participating in this challenge. So after you finish watching mine, I would love it if you would click down in the description and jump to the next video. So let's jump into our project number 1. For this one, I used this little wooden sign from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to remove that little word bubble. And then I wanted to get rid of those clouds on the sides, but I still wanted to keep the front wood. So I just used some black chalk paint and it just covered up those clouds perfectly. And then I took one of these little half foam balls that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use half of one of the dinosaur eggs that came from Dollar Tree as well. So using the egg, I'm just kind of carving into that foam ball because I want the foam ball to sit right up flush against the egg. So I wanted it to get that perfect shape. So just using my X-Acto knife, I trimmed away that extra little bit of styrofoam. And there, it fits perfect. So then I'm just going to stick that on a skewer and give that foam ball a quick coat of black chalk paint. Then I'm going to take 2 of these metal hearts that came off a Valentine's sign, and we're just going to bend those in half. And then I'm going to take this ribbon I got from Walmart. It's black with just a little white stitching line along the edges. I'm going to make a little bow. And I'm going to just dovetail the ends there. And then I'm also going to use this ribbon to make stripes for the bee. So I just cut 2 more little pieces. And then we're going to just hot glue those onto the half of the egg. Just tuck them inside. You can do that for both the little stripes. Now we're going to assemble our bee. So I'm going to use those 2 little hearts that we folded in half as wings. The half egg is going to be the bee body. So we're just going to hot glue those right down to that little wood box. Then we're going to attach our little bow. And then I took this wire that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make some little antennas for our bee. So I just cut 2 little pieces, and then I wrapped them around the end of a paintbrush to make them little curly little wires, and then just stuck them right into the styrofoam. Just trimmed them a little bit, and there we go. I love how this turned out. It's such a cute little bee, just using leftover pieces that we probably have in our stash. Okay, let's jump into number 2. For this, I took the little metal word happy from Dollar Tree. I found these little insect shapes. They're actually picnic tablecloth weights. I got them at Dollarama, and then of course this wooden sign from Dollar Tree. So we're going to take the sign apart, and then I carefully took that word thankful off using a scraper. I cut out the video because it took me a while. It was really glued down, so I really struggled to get that off. So next I'm going to use this gel stain in the color walnut, and I'm just going to quickly stain that frame. And then I took that little weight. It had a little metal clip on that you would clip onto the tablecloth. I just gave it a little twist and it popped right off. It was really easy. So then I'm going to use the back of that piece from the frame. I'm just going to give that a quick coat of black chalk paint. And then we're just going to glue everything down. So I just used some hot glue, glued down the little bee shape and the letters. This was just a quick, easy, really easy, cute little sign to make. Then I just used a little bit of that leftover stain that I had sitting there And I just went over all the letters quickly. I wanted to just tone down some of the shininess from the metal. So then I went over the bee a little bit as well to make it match. Put it all back together. And there we go. Such a cute little sign you could stick on your tiered tray or on a shelf. A great little piece of spring decor. Okay, number 3. For this one, I ordered these cute little honey dippers off of Amazon, and as well as these cute little bees. I will have them linked down in my description, and the yellow glue I found on there as well. So I just used the hot glue, just put it all over the honey dipper to make it look like honey. And you can see as it dries, it really smooths out, so it really does look like honey. You'll see when I show you the reveal. And then I stuck these tiny little wooden bees in it. Now I'm just have it on some wax paper, so then once the glue dried, I just peeled it off of the wax paper, and then you can use your scissors to kind of trim up the edges to make it look how you want. And there we go. Such a cute, really easy little piece to add to our trays. Okay, moving on to number 4. Number 4, I used one of these little frames I found at Dollar Tree and the Farmer's Market calendar and some white chalk paint. So I gave this frame a quick coat of white chalk paint. Now I did the entire frame, the back, the front, everything. I am going to use the back for this DIY because I wanted it to look like a little wooden box. But I did paint everything. So then I used my good old black walnuts, my walnut gel stain, it's not black, and gave it a quick dry brushing to make it look more distressed. Then we cut out that honey sign. Now guys, I apologize for my camera here. I don't know what was happening. It's kind of jumpy and trying to focus, so I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry. So using my glue stick, I glued that little honey picture down. For me, I know some of you like Mod Podge on the bottom. I prefer to use the glue stick on the bottom and then Mod Podge over the top. So I gave that a quick coat of Mod Podge over the top. And then I'm gonna use another one of those honey dippers I found. So just using some dog nail clippers, I trimmed off that dowel piece to make it a little shorter. Then taking some black buffalo check ribbon, I'm gonna make a little bow around the bottom of it. Just a quick little shoelace bow. Again guys, I apologize for my camera for this one. I'm sorry it's so blurry. I'm just gonna dovetail the bottom of that bow. And then taking another one of these little wooden bees, I'm gonna stick it right onto the middle of the bow. Now using some more of that yellow glue, I'm gonna make this one look like it was dipped in the honey as well. So just put a bunch of glue on the top and it will kind of drip down the sides to really look like honey. And then I stuck a couple more of those little bees onto it to look like the bees are sitting in the honey. And then I'm just gonna hot glue it right to this little sign. Like I said, I'll have a link in my description for the honey dippers. They weren't very expensive at all on Amazon. There we go, so cute. Okay, number 5. For this one, I found these little bee napkins at Marshall's, and this little wooden box frame was also from Dollar Tree. So I'm just gonna cut one of these little squares of the napkin and then peel off the backing. So you gotta remember to get off both layers of the napkin. I know the one that's closest to the top layer is a little trickier, so I'll get that off. And then I was so happy it fit perfectly in there. I didn't have to do a lot of trimming. So just gonna use the glue stick. Again, use my glue stick for the bottom, stick the napkin in there and smooth it out. And then we're going to use Mod Podge for the top. So I just put a layer on that to seal the napkin to the wood. Okay, so now for this is a piece of corrugated cardboard. I save everything. So this, I can't even remember what I ordered, but this came as part of the packaging. So I kept it, and now I'm going to trace out the shape of the Easter egg. And this is the round part of another plastic Easter egg. So I'm cut those out of the cardboard, and we're making another little bee. So now for this, I had some jute cord that had wire in it. I'm going to use that to make the antennas. Again, you can use that black wire from Dollar Tree or pretty much anything wire that you have in your stash. So I just made 2 little antennas for our little bee and just curled up the ends a little bit. And then this metal heart, I wanted something that bent a little bit better. So I used one of the Dollar Tree cookie sheets. I just traced a heart shape and then cut that out of the cookie sheet. It was just a little more flexible than the metal heart that I had from the Dollar Tree Valentine sign. So I'm going to use that as the wings. So now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to place it. So then I bent it up a little bit to give it a little more shape. Now we're going to just hot glue it all down. Now guys, I glued my egg down the wrong way. I wanted the skinny part to be the bottom of the bee, but I ended up having the rounder part at the bottom. But you could do it either way. I wish mine was the other way around, but oh well. I still think it turned out really cute. So here you go, another cute little bee. Okay, number 6. For this one, I'm going to use this little wooden box sign again from Dollar Tree, some more of my little wooden beads, and another piece of cardboard I had in my stash. Again, it was packaging from something that I had saved, but I loved how it looked like a little beehive. So I'm gonna just cut a little piece first. These little box frames are kind of deep, so I wanted to just put a piece in as a spacer because I wanted the other piece to sit up closer to the top so you could really see it. So now I'm just measuring how big of a piece I need. And then this fit in so perfectly, I didn't even have to glue it. It just sat in there perfect. So now I'm going to make it look more like a honeycomb. I'm going to use that yellow glue and just kind of put it along the edges to kind of make it look like there's honey in there just dripping out. I know you can see a white glue stick, but there's still quite a bit of yellow glue in there that I wanted to use up. So I just had the white one in there to help push the glue through. Now I'm going to take some of these little wooden beads and I'm going to glue them into the honeycomb as well. So it looks like there's bees sitting in there with all the honey. There we go. I love this. Is probably my favorite one of the day. Okay, and then number 7, our last one. I found this cute little beehive birdhouse at Dollar Tree, of course. So I'm going to remove that string and then we're going to use the burnt umber paint from Dollar Tree. And I found that bright yellow, it is apple barrel. I found it at Walmart. So I'm going to cover the entire thing with the brown paint. Now I'm going to show you guys my favorite technique. So you take white glue and I'm going to cover the whole front of this with white glue. So what you do is you cover it with white glue and then you wait for it to get tacky. You don't want it to dry, but you want it to start getting really tacky. And then you're generously going to put on paint over top. Now you don't want to go over the same spot too many times because you don't want the paint to mix in with the glue. But as it dries, you get this really awesome textured, crackly kind of finish. So I did that and then used some of that yellow hot glue and attached some bees to make it look like there was honey coming out. Okay, so here is our final reveal of all of our projects for today. Please leave me a comment. Let me know which one was your favorite. Also, if you could take a second and hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you can come back and check out more videos. Now don't forget also in the description box to check out that playlist. There is a lot of really great crafters that are in this challenge with me. So please check out their videos as well. And as always, thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one.